and welcome to the flipped classroom. I thought I would demonstrate the model using one of the methods. This is called a screen recording. I'll show you how to do this when we get together next week. But very basically, the flipped classroom is a model where you post content that you would ordinarily introduce in class. You post it on the web. You post it in a number of places. You can put it in a variety of places, but you post it on the web for the students to watch prior to class. And then you use that time that you would have used in class to go over that material, that basic, first, second level material. Use that time for more hands-on, more higher level critical thought, more efficient ways, more effective ways of instruction in the classroom. There are some key terms we'll go over here. Content, basically what we post on the web would be the content. I'll try and call it digital content to keep the confusion down. Enhanced instruction is a term I coined this summer while doing research and writing. And basically, it's this new level, this new type of instruction, this level of instruction that you're able to reach as a result of the flip model. And that's the basic gift of the flip model, is that you get extra time. You get time in class that you didn't have before that you can use to enhance instruction. You can use it for small group. You can use it. I use it to write. You let the kids write in class. You can use it for differentiated instruction, that type of stuff. Online learning, any instruction that takes place over the internet. Here are some basic methods for implementing the flipped classroom. This is a screencast. Streaming video is something that we're pretty much all familiar with at this point. And then the last method, the vodcasts, which are extremely versatile. They're a little more time consuming, but lots of bells and whistles and very effective. So this enhanced instruction, this term that I've coined, where does it come from? Well, if you look down at the third row, the time that you would ordinarily use to introduce new material and go over concepts and assign homework, you've already done that on the web. So when the kids come to you, you don't spend as much time doing that. You do that at the second part of class, during the question and answer part of class, during sort of a discussion of the webisode or whatever you posted. And then you can get right to actually using whatever it is you're teaching. You can get them actually working on it. So you gain that time for this enhanced instruction. Okay, so here are some examples. You can look those over. Obviously, I don't teach all these courses. I don't teach this subject matter. What I do teach is humanities or social studies, and I use this time to write, for the children to write, to work together, to peer edit. We also use it to discuss and to go over critical thought questions. So we'll go over these when we get together. But these tend to be, and it's just a small example of things that teachers who I've either read about or talked to about using this model, what they've gained, what they use that extra time for. So what are some of the benefits? Well, it meets the kids where they are. All of our kids have iPods and iPhones. So instead of decreasing screen time, let's make screen time more effective. Learning via the web is something these kids are going to do forever. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, of course, we don't want to overload them. We don't want to all produce episodes every day, and we wouldn't do that anyway. And another thing is the episodes shouldn't be that long. Episodes should be relatively brief. But yeah, we should meet them where they are, and that's right knee deep in the digital culture there. It helps all students, whether these students are they need a little enhanced instruction. They need some differentiated instruction, or if they want to work ahead, they can do that too. These students control the rate of information, so they can actually pause their teacher or rewind their teacher, right? I encourage students to take notes or to keep a document open while they're watching the episodes, so they can pause the teacher and take notes and write down stuff for the question and answer part of class, which is the beginning of class the next day. This enhanced time, of course, increases the time that you have to interact with your students and for your students to interact with one another. The flipped classroom changes the way we communicate about school. It changes the way we communicate with our kids, and it changes the way families communicate. It changes the way the parents and parents and kids communicate about school. The old question, "What'd you do at school today?" It's going to be asked less and less because the parents will already know what they did that day. And if there are questions about what's going on, the parents can watch the video and get a little better understanding of what's going on to help their kids. It opens up a dialogue for those parents who are engaged and facilitates some discussion. And it provides transparency, which is the next point. It allows people to be on the same page, so to speak. And one of the last point there is one of the neatest things about the model is that it lessens the impact of absenteeism. So those students who aren't at school for whatever reason, they stay abreast of what's happening in class. Nothing replaces FaceTime, of course, but they're not as behind as they would be. And if you have to be out for some reason, whether you have a sick kid or you're off at a conference, you can post digital content for the students to watch in class. So your absence is not as dramatic, or it impacts them far less than it would. Access, these are some of the issues. We don't have problems with access here at Highlands. All of our families have access unless they're having some sort of technical problem. Technical difficulties, we don't have very many of those through the year. Plus, we have all the resources that we need here on campus to do this. So really the only obstacle we have is getting people ready to do it, showing people how to do it, walking them through it, and being willing to get out there and try some new stuff. So I had a boss one time that told me you can't eat an elephant in one bite, and this is definitely one of those elephants we can't eat in one bite. But it is something we need to begin doing because it's the way the kids are going to learn for the rest of their lives. So we need to indoctrinate them, not only deliver content, but indoctrinate them to the process and the method, because it really is changing things. So another point there on the baby steps is, no one's going to post episodes every day. I've been doing it for 4 years and I'm still learning stuff. So it's just something that we should start to practice. So whether you post 3 episodes all year or you do 30, I think it's just something you should give it a try and see how it impacts your classroom. So thanks. I hope this was helpful. I hope you wrote down some questions if you had any. And when we come together, we will discuss it, and then we'll get right to it. All right? Thank you very much. See you soon.